Hey everyone, I just wanted to give you a little down-home reality check, Tom style. And don't worry, it will end on a positive note, I promise. Okay, so the reality check. Jobs are never, ever, ever going to come back to this country. Ever. Ever. They're never coming back unless we change the way that we spend our daily dollars. Congress, they could have the highest of ethics. They could be made up of the most intelligent people in the world. Our entire Congress could come up with the best plan that our Congress has ever come up with in the history of Congress to bring jobs back to this country, but it's not going to make one bit of difference. Not one job will come back to this country unless we, the American people, change the way that we spend our money. On the flip side of that, we could have the Congress that we have now, which is probably among the worst Congresses that we've ever had, and it's going to be the same result. The budget's not going to be paid off. $14.5 trillion in debt, I believe it's up to now. Jobs gone, not coming back. I mean, everything is in turmoil. Nothing is going right now. And it doesn't matter because we do not spend our money to support our own economy. So how do we fix it? It's really simple. Well, first, before I get to that, I want to tell you something. It's a natural law of the earth. The answer is always in nature. It's always in the God of your choosing. I want you guys to realize that I'm not making this up. This natural law I'm going to tell you about has existed for thousands of years. It's going to be here for thousands of more years. It exists so that it can help us. And if we fight it, it will destroy us. It doesn't have any biases. There's nothing political about it. But here it is, the natural setup of the earth, of the universe. You cannot reap a harvest on demand. You will never be able to reap a harvest on demand. The only way you can reap a harvest is by ambitiously sowing good seed, doing some cultivating, and then the universe will be the miracle worker and you'll have a harvest. Man, sorry about that. My computer ran out of power, so I had to plug it back in, and I'm going to stitch these two videos together so it works the way that you see it now. So, where I left off. The only way you can reap a harvest, to get the things that you want, to find success, change your health, your whatever it is that you need to change. In this case, we're talking about jobs in America. You can apply this to anything, but you have to ambitiously sow good seed, probably do some cultivating. But even if you were to just ambitiously sow good seed, you do it enough, you're going to have a harvest every time. It's existed that way for thousands of years, and it's always going to be that way. You cannot find success simply by demand. If you only demand it, you're just a talking fool, and your commitments are only as strong as your actions. So when we talk about wanting to bring jobs back into this country, and we're willing to fight for it, we got the Occupy movement out there. It's far easier to fight for principle than it is to live up to them. Adlai Stevenson said that. He was actually a congressperson. I think he was the governor of Illinois once upon a time, a long time ago. But Adlai Stevenson said that, and he's right. So we are fighting for principles. We got the Occupy movement out there, and they're just demanding it. They're not really doing anything about it. It seems to me that most people just want to protest. They want to demand. Protesting is fine, but when it's only in the form of demand, that's a talking fool. It's acting foolish. And not to say that you're just a fool at heart. I mean, maybe some people are. But I mean, you can change that anytime. You have to act more intelligently and quit chasing sunsets by running east. You can't find success just by demand. Now, what we can do is start doing, planting those seeds, and in this form, the parallel to this is simply going to be buying things that are made in our own country. That's how we bring jobs back here. Goods and services made in the USA. Now, I realize a lot of things, because we are so far gone now, a lot of things it's impossible to find here in America. But even just a 10% shift, that's not much, guys. A 10% shift of where we are now, a 10% shift of our daily dollars going for made in the USA is enough, according to just about every expert economist. That would be enough to start a new revolution of bringing jobs back into our country, of making our food healthy again so that it's helping us instead of killing us. And I mean that quite literally, because over 80% of every death in America is a result of chronic illness due to lifestyle choices. And for the first time in our history, our kids are lumped into that sum. And for the first time in our history, our kids are not expected to outlive their parents. That's never happened before. And it's largely because of the food that we eat, the lifestyle choices that we make. So we got to start voting better, organic whole foods over processed garbage, and we've got to start buying made in the USA. Just a 10% shift, guys, is enough to start that revolution. And once that gets into swing, I bet there's all going to be all kinds of things that were just impossible to get made in the USA that's going to start coming back home too. And then more jobs. And then because we're demanding more jobs, not by what we say, but what we do, not only is it going to bring more jobs back, but the quality of those jobs is going to be so much better. And we won't have the common story of the person that went to college for 8 years maybe, and then they're stuck with some job making $10 an hour because that's all that's out there. And in the meantime, they just become an indentured servant and an indentured student because they can't pay off their loans with these incredibly insulting jobs that we have. So we need to bring those jobs back, and we need to bring the quality of our jobs back, and we have to stop being a demand-only country because it's making us a bunch of fools, and I'm sick of it. We need to grow up and get over ourselves. We need to start doing. Talk is really cheap. Don't tell me about it. Show me. Where are you spending your money every day? Are you buying anything that's made in the USA anymore? And if you are, is it just once in a while? And are you that same person that's saying we need to bring jobs back in the country? That's a talking fool. Stop being a talking fool and do the deed every day consistently. I promise you. The universe promises it. Those jobs will come back. They'll be higher quality jobs. And we can also change the quality of our food too, so that it's helping us stay healthy rather than killing us. I hope that enables you guys to go out there and start talking to people and to start voting differently with your daily dollars. Let this video spread like a virus, but a good virus, a virus that can actually help save us and our jobs, our country, our kids. It needs to happen, and I'm going to continue making silly blogs like this, videos and whatnot, until we start to reverse this terrible trend that's all on us. Obey this natural law of the earth. You cannot reap a harvest by demand only. Protesters that are out in the streets with placards, that's fine, but if you're only doing that, you're being a fool. You need to ambitiously sow seed, start doing, stop talking. That's the only way it's going to happen. Think about it. We got a pretty good end of the deal here as far as the universe is concerned. The universe just says all we have to do is ambitiously sow seed, and the universe is going to be the miracle worker and take care of the rest. Just imagine if that deal were reversed and you had to be the miracle worker. The universe was going to sow seed, maybe cultivate, and then you had to be the miracle worker and produce the harvest, produce the tree, produce the garden, produce the whatever. Man, then you would have some sleep to lose. We need to keep things in perspective. I know things are dire out there for a lot of people. It was once dire for me. I've been there. I'm not just talking about it. I was below the poverty line too. And it really sucked. I didn't know what was going to become of me. But I started working with these natural laws of the earth, and it completely changed my life. It can change yours too individually. It can change the state of our economy. We just have to start to learn to work with nature. That's what it's there for. So that's the moral of this video here, guys. Stop being demand only, because that's a talking fool, and start doing the patterns every day of where you spend your money. Particularly with the topic of this video, bringing jobs back to this country, start spending your money on made in the US of A. That's the solution. Congress cannot fix it. It doesn't matter what they're doing. It's on you and your friends and all of us. Just a 10% shift. I'm not asking for much. We can do 10%, and it'll be enough. It always will. Thanks for watching my video. Get out there, talk about it, and do it. No more fools. No more fool's game.